Welcome to the AEGIS booth here at IPC Apex. Delighted to be joined by Michael Ford. Nice to see you in your home territory, Michael.
Yes, it's good to be here. Thanks very much.
So it's been a very busy, successful week here at Apex, but what's been lurking in the background, of course, is all the things that are going on in China with the coronavirus and really how that's going to start to impact the supply chain. For a US manufacturer here, trying to mitigate some of that risk, what sort of things should they be looking to do?
There are some interesting tools that can be used for those companies that have them. For example, a lot of the supply chain is now being affected. There are going to be a shortage of key components. So generally available components not going to be so strongly affected, but there will be probably one key component that prevents a certain product from being made. The last time we saw such component shortages, we saw factories actually shutting down. Whereas actually, had they known exactly what materials they had in stock, if they had a very accurate inventory, they would have known that they could have completed work orders of other products for other customers to keep the factory running. Now, why is that important? Because when the key components do come back into stock, there's going to have to be a catch-up. And you don't want to be catching up on the products you missed at the expense of products that you were supposed to be making later. So you just need to swap the schedules around. And the ability to do that without risk, you need to be in control of your materials and your processes and your various resources, including people. So those who have the digital IIoT MES platform, with the material management, they are able to immediately identify those opportunities to recover.
Here at AEGIS, you've got a solution for that particular issue, for materials management and being able to handle that. And I think that, coupled with some of these new storage tower inventory systems that are out there as well, can make it a lot easier to keep track of everything.
Yeah, certainly from the material side, we've got it all sewn up. And there is no excuse for anybody to be not making production when actually there are materials available. And as we saw in the last case with the material shortage, they realized they really needn't have stopped. And that's a huge difference to the bottom line of the business. But materials is not the only thing, of course. You also have different skills needed in order to make the different products at the different times. And so another way in which our platform helps is providing the electronic work instructions through the augmented reality, so that you can have people performing these supply chain tasks as well as assembly tasks to which they're not familiar, but they can be doing them with expert instruction continuously through the glasses. And so the factory is able to be agile and respond to these kinds of threats, to the normal operation of the plant.
That's an enormous issue, because especially in China, we don't know the full effects yet of how many people are actually going to return to work next week. And assuming that there's a percentage of people don't return to the factory floor, you're able to sort of upskill some of these other workers by using augmented glasses to be able to cover these tasks.
The word upskill is excellent, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. You can basically take in the people that you have and understand, okay, I don't have the capabilities to do these jobs, which would in the past have meant you had to shut down lines. But now you can say, put on these glasses, off you go as one of our digital operators, and they will simply follow the instructions, performing the best practice, avoiding the mistakes, without the learning curve. Yeah, it's an ideal solution in this circumstance.
The only question is, how do you get all these glasses into China?
I suspect they're made in China, but that doesn't help at the minute.
But it's interesting, though, kidding aside, that there are solutions out there to really help with issues, major issues like this.
This is what digitalization in factories is all about, because the human manager of a factory has years and years of experience. However, when something happens on this kind of scale, where specific information is needed from several different areas in order to make a very quick decision, and then you need to think about how to do it efficiently, because we have to remember the bottom line. We can't be doing things that are, not profitable. we need to put all of that information together quickly and allow that person to make the decision. Do I run this product? Do I run this line? Do I provide this kind of service? Only through the recent digitalization, by collecting the data of materials, of machine performance, of progress, of delivery schedules, putting that together with our engineering data, being able to define which line configuration can make which product at a moment's notice, basically. Putting all of these things together produces the factory which is so agile that I wouldn't flippantly say that they wouldn't even notice there's a problem, but it will ensure that factories are able to continue working wherever possible. And there is no needless loss associated with a crisis like this.
I think, unfortunately, because of the scale of it, I think there's going to be considerable loss and shortages in the supply chain. But it's just good to know that we are starting to roll out solutions to be able to handle this. So we might not get it 100% this time around, but certainly I think for the future it's something to bear in mind.
Yeah, I think that planning for this kind of risk is essential. And we have a couple of years where nothing really goes horribly wrong, and people begin to forget. They begin to focus too much in one area. They think they can do without these technologies. They just assume or hope that these things are never going to happen. But in reality, they do. And so having a balanced portfolio, doing a little bit of a few different things, even though it may not be the most optimum and prime target for that operation, sometimes it makes sense. And having the tools available to be able to make very, very fast decisions, it can really make a huge differentiation between companies at times like these.
It's a horrible situation we're in right now, but I really hope it solves itself very quickly. But it's great to see that we're all developing the tools, the digital tools, to be able to address it in future. Michael, thank you for joining us again, as always.
Okay, thank you very much indeed.